Greetings and welcome to Washington. Along with Darren Pang, I'm Mike Emmerich. Almost time for tonight's faceoff.
Great to be here, Mike. Let's take a look at the starting goalies for tonight's game. Starting for Anaheim, Guy Hebert. And at the other end of the ice, in goal for Washington, Olaf Kolzig.
We're ready for tonight's game in Washington. Puck brought along by Green. Knifed away by Juneau. Big flag. Kabandra. Worked ahead to Oates. Stoppage of play on a two-line pass. Nicolishin faces off in his own zone. Tamarha. Big shot. The Mighty Ducks set up shop. Zetnik with a shot. Fellows shooting. Gathered in by Leclerc. Worked ahead to Ruchin. Ruchin with it. Saved by Kolzig. Kicked wide. Kolzig out to play it. The Capitals change on the fly. The Mighty Ducks head to the bench for a change.
Crowd right now is waiting for something to happen.
Rockets one. Puck brought along by Solani. Loves it. Right side to Juneau. Big save.
That was a laser beam of a shot.
Feeds it across. Brings it off the post.
Wow, was that close?
Green skates his way through the neutral zone. Covered by Kolzig. Nicolishin faces off in his own zone. In the corner. Takes a shot. Unloads a bullet. Saved by Kolzig.
1 minute left of the first period.
Knocked down in front of the net. The Capitals looking for the penalty call. Over to Zetnik.
Real quiet crowd here today.
Kolzig with the chest save.
Anaheim starting to dominate a bit.
Nicolishin. They score! A blistering shot by Nicolishin. The Capitals are out in front.
That was a great shot. He was just able to squeak it into the corner. That one was just a great individual effort.
Draw in the neutral zone. Solani bringing it ahead. That's the end of the first period. Washington 1, the Mighty Ducks 0. We're moments away from the start of the second period.
Oh, it's still anyone's game. This one could go down to the wire.
One back, Korea. Korea looking. Kicked out. Kolsik. Kolsik, the save. Intercepted by Oates. The Mighty Ducks are offside. Washington with it. Holler starts it the other way. Korea controls at the point. Kicked out. Kolsik. Banks it off the wall. To Solani. That one out of reach. Soleil pushed off the puck. He scores! Juno with the wrist shot. The Capitals increased their lead.
Hebert had that one sneak past him. Juno made that one happen all by himself.
No assists on the goal by Juno. Washington back to get it. Zednik with it at the point. Solani leading the rush. Right side to Green. Finds Zednik. Soleil along the boards. Cross ice pass. Left side to Nicolishin. Soleil retrieves it. Bellows. Passes. Dancing in. Didn't get through. Korea skates his way through the neutral zone. Mironov in the corner. He passes. Soleil gets bumped. Rebound. Soleil skates it up on the wing. Slap shot. Kolsik with the glove save.
That was a good opportunity.
Juno bringing it ahead. Cutting in. Korea with it. They score! A blistering shot by Korea.
Kolzig hung out to dry on that one. Wow, what a great shot by Korea. Pass, and the puck's in the back of the net.
Soleil with the assist. Bannister handles the puck.
1 minute remaining.
Offside is the signal. Face off at center ice. Draw one by Ruchin. Nicolishin fires away. In the corner. Right side to Bannister. Leclerc leading the rush. The period almost over. Leads it across. Breakaway chance. Kicked out by Hebert.
That was a close call.
That's the end of the second period. Washington 2, the Mighty Ducks 1. We're moments away from the start of the third period.
Washington clinging to the lead as we head for home.
Puck brought along by Green. Circles with it. Solani controls at the point. To Vondra skates it up on the wing. Oates skates his way through the neutral zone. Rink wide to Holler. Juno starts it the other way. Hebert there to make the stop.
Great chance there.
Solani bringing it ahead. Big save. Save by Pulisic. Hammered into the boards.
If you're not paying attention, you'll pay the price.
Shots favor Anaheim. Face off in the right circle. Doesn't connect. Advances the puck to Bellows. Washington would love to have an insurance goal. Solani takes a little shove. Hands it to Correa. The Mighty Ducks control at the point. Shooting! Washington back to get it. Bellows with it. Solani pushed off the puck. Nicolishin at the point. Pushes it up. Green bringing it ahead. Cutting in! By Pulisic. Washington chases it down. Gathered in by Pusher. He can't get it.
1 minute left in regulation.
Big shot. Knocked away. Anaheim trying to tie it up. Pulisic with the chest save. Pushes it up. 3-on-2. In the corner. The final horn sound. The captain.
A valiant effort by Anaheim. Unfortunately, they came up a little short tonight.
For my partner Darren Pang, this is Mike Emmerich saying so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars of the game. The third star from the Washington Capitals, number 90, Joey Juno. The second star, the Washington Capitals, number 13, Andrei Nicolishin. And the first star of the game from the Washington Capitals, number 37, Olaf Kolzig.
Greetings and welcome to Philadelphia. Along with Darren Pang, I'm Mike Emmerich. Almost time for tonight's face-off.
Great to be here, Mike. Let's take a look at the starting goalies for tonight's game. Getting the nod in goal for Anaheim, Guy Hebert. And in the other net, in goal for Philadelphia, John Van Beesbroek.
We're ready to get underway in Philadelphia. Face-off won by Green. Cutting in on the wing. Crushed by Solani.
Leclaire. The fella on the wrong end of that body check.
Solani! Hey, Philadelphia chases it down. Right side to Lindros. Solani with a shot. Solid check by Leclaire. Denied by Hebert.
Oh, great save.
Solani zigzags his way in down the board. On the wing. Cross-ice pass. He can't get it. Here they come on a 2-on-1. Pusher with it. Can't get it. Svoboda in the corner. Left side. Today. Whistled for a two-line pass. Lindros faces off in his own zone. Kick wide by Van Beesbroek. Guides it on to Lindros. Blocked by Van Beesbroek.
That was a good chance. They were just unable to convert.
Leads it across. Sillinger on a 3-on-2. Here they come on a 2-on-1. Hines, Sillinger. Soleil races back to get it. Soleil plays the boards to Solani. Loads it up and fires. Races back to get it. Injured player down.
Sometimes something goes numb for a little while, and then it comes around. Oh, that was a bone-crushing hit. That's the type of hit that could give your driver's license a black eye.
Green still trying to shake off the effects of that collision. The draw at center ice.
1 minute left of the first period.
Gathered in by Hebert. Anaheim with it. Solani tees it up. Over to Gratton. Oh, was he hit?
That was absolutely brutal.
Anaheim chases it down. The Mighty Ducks on a 3-on-2. That's the end of the first period. Philadelphia, 0. The Mighty Ducks, 0. We're ready now for the start of the second period.
Still a lot of hockey left in this one.
Green wins the draw. On the wing. Oh, is he hit?
Oh!
Saved by Van Beesbrook. Lindros skates his way through the neutral zone. Shot. Over to Sillinger. Cutting in. Lindros starts it the other way. Just out of reach. Lindros gets bumped. The Mighty Ducks with it. Philadelphia back to get it. Bottled up by Correa. Gathered in by Brindamore. Leads it along to Solani. Solani with it at the point. The Mighty Ducks set up shop. Feeds it across. Breakaway chance. Saved by Hebert.
Ooh, chances like that keep the statisticians busy downstairs.
Kicked out by Van Beesbrook.
Man, he gets a lot on his shot.
Saved by Van Beesbrook.
Van Beesbrook. Boy, is he looking sharp.
By Philadelphia. Pass picked off by Leclerc. Marha in ahead of the play. Pusher gets shoved. Lindros tees it up. Gathered in by Bannister. He can't get it. Desjardins controls at the point. Lindros skates it up on the wing. Lindros controls at the point.
1 minute left in the period.
Therrien and the Flyers are offside. Green wins the draw. The Flyers control at the point. Lamy starts it the other way. Score! With the big blast. Mighty Ducks now find themselves trailing.
He got real good wood on that one. That's about as well as he can fire it. He didn't need any of his teammates on that one. He was able to do it himself.
Gratton gets credit for the unassisted goal. Time running down in the period. Doesn't connect. Correa in the corner. Correa retrieves it. The horn sounds, and that's the end of the period. Philadelphia 1, the Mighty Ducks 0. We're just about ready for the start of the third period.
This should be a great finish, Mike.
One by Lindros. The Flyers set up shop. Left side to Soleil. Solani skates his way through the neutral zone. Over to Leclerc. Doesn't connect. Left side to Lindros. Anaheim with it. Kicked out by Van Beesbrook.
Tremendous save.
Doesn't connect. To Solani. Walks in front. In the corner. Correa gets bumped. To Lindros. He can't get it. Lindros races back to get it. Cut off by Sillinger. 3-on-2. He missed the net.
Oh, almost.
Leads it along to Correa. Gathered in by Green. And face off in the left circle. Dave retrieves it. Short pass to Gratton. Solani. The Mighty Ducks control at the point. Stoppage of play on a two-line pass. Philadelphia back to get it. Gratton gets bumped. The Mighty Ducks looking for the equalizer. McGillis waits behind his own net. Shot. Today. Rink wide to Gratton. Gratton controls at the point. Leclerc skates it up on the wing. Shooting. Guides it on to Gratton.
1 minute remaining.
That was a two-line pass. To Lindros. Anaheim on a 3-on-2. Over to Leclerc. Lindros zigzags his way in down the boards. Anaheim back to get it. Saved by Hebert.
Oh, great save.
This one is over.
A valiant effort by Anaheim. Unfortunately, they came up a little short tonight.
For my partner Darren Pang, this is Mike Emmerich saying so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars of the game. The third star from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, number 31, Guy Hebert. The second star from the Philadelphia Flyers, number 55, Chris Gratton. And the first star of the game from the Philadelphia Flyers, number 34, John Van Beesbrook.
Et aveugle des fois trempés, protégera nos foyers et nos joies, protégera nos foyers et nos
Welcome to Montreal. Along with Darren Pang, I'm Mike Emmerich. Hello again, everyone.
Always a pleasure to work with you, Mike. Let's look at the goaltending matchup for tonight's game. In net, for Anaheim, Guy Hebert. And in the other net, starting for Montreal, Jocelyn Thibault.
We are all set to drop the puck in Montreal. Green wins the draw. Recchi along the board. He can't get it. Stood up by Corson. Green with it. Kulanov races back together. Cut off by Soleil. Oakland looking. Soleil in the corner. Rockets one. Over Alakov. Circles with it. Puck brought along by Haller. Dancing in. Ulanov pushed off the puck. Cutting in. Hit the goal post.
He missed that goal just by a couple of inches.
The Canadiens want a change. Rink wide to Haller. Solani leading the rush. Cut off by Savage. Odd man rush. Save by Hebert.
Savage misfired on that puck right in front.
Ruchinski! Anaheim back to get it. Along the boards.
A game of cat and mouse right now as both teams are trying to feel each other out.
And Anaheim will have the man advantage.
Oh, a terrible penalty. Anaheim with a chance to take the lead now.
Montreal penalty, number 26, Martin Rucinski. 2 minutes for cross-checking.
He used his stick as a weapon, and that's a no-no.
Ruchinski will end up in the box for cross-checking. Face off to the left of the net. On the wing. In the corner. Off the wall to Leclerc. Green with a shot.
1 minute remaining.
Hebert retrieves it. Face off in the left circle. Doesn't connect. Anaheim enjoying the advantage. Soleil retrieves it. Solani bringing it ahead. Kicked out by Thibault. That'll go wide of the cage.
That was a good chance. They were just unable to convert.
The Mighty Ducks with it. That's the end of the first period. Montreal 0, the Mighty Ducks 0. We are set for the start of the second period.
Still a lot of hockey left in this one.
Ruchin wins the draw. Walks in front. Thibault got a piece of that one.
Man, he gets a lot on his shot.
Hebert out of his net. In the corner. Big blast. Denied by Hebert.
Holy jumping. What a save.
Correa with it at the point. Finds Malakoff. Recchi zigzags his way in down the board. Just missed.
He was right there.
Knocked down. Rink wide to Corson. Crushed by Salami.
Ouch!
Corson looking. Rink wide. Kaczynski. Puck brought along by Salami. He scores! Salami finds Lorraine. Mighty Ducks take the lead.
Because of the time he had and the space he had, he's able to blow it right by the goaltender. He didn't need any of his teammates on that one. He was able to do it himself.
Solani, unassisted. Finds Domfus. Big blast. Ruchin takes a little shove. Marhoff races back to get it. Right in front of the net. Feeds Solani. That was a two-line pass. Cullen faces off in his own zone. Offside, Montreal. Draw in the neutral zone. Phantom with a shot. Trinka skates his way through the neutral zone. To Corson. The Canadiens looking for the equalizer. Cutting in! By Thibault. Face off in the left circle. Brisebois passes over to Savage. Offside is the signal. Right side to Correa.
1 minute left of the second period.
Savage skates it up on the wing. They score! The first shot was denied, but the second found its way through. And that goal ties it up.
What the heck happened on that play?
The draw at center ice, just out of reach. In the corner, Montreal chases it down. Gathered in by Hebert. Stolen by Hoagland. Montreal chases it down. The score is tied. Drives one towards the net. That's the end of the second period. Montreal 1, the Mighty Ducks 1. We're moments away from the start of the third period.
Boy, we could be looking at overtime here, Mike.
The Mighty Ducks win the draw. Corson looking. Solani controls at the point. Ulano retrieves it. On the wing. Offside is the signal. Face off at center ice. Won by Green. Wrist shot. Denied by Thibault. Pollard races back to get it. Anaheim with it. That'll go wide of the cage. Montreal back to get it. Ruchinski with it. Big blast. Over to Dom Poos. Savage controls at the point. To Solani. Montreal won. The Mighty Ducks won. Hoagland faces off in his own zone. Link wide. Hoagland. Pusher skates his way through the neutral zone. On the wing. To Hoagland. Hoagland races back to get it. Kicked out by Hebert.
Oh, great save.
Quick shot. Puck brought along by Marha. Oh, got a piece of that one.
That was a good chance. They were just unable to convert.
In the corner. Saved by Hebert. Anaheim back to get it. Takes a shot. Face off won by Dom Poos.
1 minute remaining.
Savage at the point. Soleil gets bumped. Off the board. Dom Poos looking. Time running down in the period. Dom Poos along the board. On the wing. Drives one towards the net. The horn sounds, and that's the end of the period. Montreal won. The Mighty Ducks won. We're ready now for the start of the overtime period. One back to Ulanov. Covered up by Thibault. Draw one by Anaheim. Korecki. The Canadiens set up shop. Quick shot. Hebert. Smothered by Hebert. Dom Poos. Dom Poos scores! The overtime game is over!
Great individual effort by Danfus.
Montreal goal, number 25, Vincent Damphousse.
Dom Poos unassisted.
A valiant effort by Anaheim. Unfortunately, they came up a little short tonight.
For my partner Darren Pang, this is Mike Emmerich saying so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars of the game. The third star from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, number 8, Teemu Selanne, the second star. From the Montreal Canadiens, number 49, Brian Savage. And the first star of the game, from the Montreal Canadiens, number 25, Vincent Damphousse.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Greetings and welcome to Chicago. Along with Darren Pang, I'm Mike Emmerich. Almost time for tonight's face-off.
Great to be here, Mike. Let's take a look at the starting goalies for tonight's game. Getting the nod in goal for Anaheim, Guy Hebert. And in the other net, in goal for Chicago, Jeff Hackett.
We're ready to get underway in Chicago. One back, Selanne. Selanne at the point. Save by Hackett.
Tremendous save.
They score! A blistering shot by Amonte. The Blackhawks are out in front.
No chance for the goaltender on that one. There's no way I would have had it. Perfectly placed shot by Amonte. Hackett got it to Amonte, and he buries it.
Chicago goal, number 10, Tony Amonte. The assist to number 31, Jeff Hackett.
Hackett with the assist. Anaheim back to get it. Correa with it at the point. Amonte bringing it ahead. Hands it ahead to Correa. Two-line pass is called. Morrow retrieves it. Holler starts it the other way. Chicago would love to have an insurance claim. Just out of reach. Gathered in by Laflamme. Loads it up and fires. Knocked away by Gilmore. Unloads a bullet. Rink wide to Morrow. Behind the net. Kicked out by Hebert. Taps it ahead. Here they come on a 2-on-1. Jamnov bringing it ahead. A long blast by Amonte. Left side to Solani. Jamnov pulls it off the board. Slap shot. Feeds it across. Solani bringing it ahead. Hackett there to make the stop.
Man, he gets a lot on his shot.
Over to Daze. Cross ice pass. Left side to Soleil.
1 minute left in the period.
Green tees it up. Green finds the back of the net. And that goal ties it up.
He got real good wood on that one. That's about as well as he can fire it. Soleil to Solani. He slides it over to Green, and he does the rest.
Assist to Solani and Soleil. The Mighty Ducks are offside. Hebert in the corner. On the wing. Can't get it. Time running down in the period. We'll have an icing call against Anaheim. Face off to the left of the net. The score is tied. Right in front of the net. Marhoff in the corner. The horn sounds, and that's the end of the period. Chicago won. The Mighty Ducks won. We are set for the start of the second period.
Entertaining game so far, Mike. Both teams still looking for the upper hand.
One back to Lonnie. Big flag. That one out of reach. To Holler. Chicago chases it down. Solani bringing it ahead, but he was across two lines. faces off in his own zone. Yanni handles the puck. Jamnov starts it the other way. Hebert there to make the stop. They score! With another goal. The Blackhawks are out in front.
That was a great shot. He was just able to squeak it into the corner. Amonte doesn't need any help on that one.
No assists on the goal by Amonte. He can't get it. Solani in the corner. Right in front of the net. Chicago back to get it. In the corner. Angles it off the board. Intercepted by Morrow. Coffey races back to get it. That one out of reach. In the corner. That was a two-line pass. Anaheim, a team that doesn't give opponents many chances to score. Face off to the right of the net. Hands it to Daze. Anaheim back to get it. The Mighty Ducks looking for the equalizer. Over to Jamnov. Cross-ice pass. Slap shot. To Holler. Big drive. To Amonte. Puck brought along by Jamnov. Soleil in the corner. To Pusher. Gilmore with it at the point. The Mighty Ducks on a 3-on-2.
1 minute left in the period.
Leclerc leading the rush. Unloads a bullet. Leclerc pushed off the puck. Hit by LaFlamme. In the corner. Green faces off in his own zone. Chelios with a shot. The horn sounds, and that's the end of the period. Chicago 2, the Mighty Ducks 1. We're moments away from the start of the third period.
Chicago clinging to the lead as we head for home.
The Blackhawks win the draw. Hackett gathers it in. Rink wide. Sidoni taps it ahead. Soleil races back to get it. Correa retrieves it. Drives one towards the net. Pass picked off by Green. Jamnov in ahead of the play. Hands it to Correa. Big save. Miller leading the rush. Holler hurls it off the board. Correa with it at the point. Kick wide by Hackett.
He was right there.
Chicago would love to have an insurance goal. Solani retrieves it. Puck brought along by Solani. Off the mark. Chicago chases it down. Gathered in by Hebert. Anaheim back to get it. Solani skates his way through the neutral zone. It hit the goalpost.
He missed that goal just by a couple of inches.
Miller bringing it ahead. Anaheim chases it down. Solani pushed off the... Score! A hat trick! The Mighty Ducks find themselves trailing by even more.
He got real good wood on that one. That's about as well as he can fire it. Great individual effort by Amonte.
Chicago goal, number 10, Tony Amonte.
Amonte, unassisted. Daze bringing it ahead. The Blackhawks set up shot. The play is called back for offside. Amonte, the hat trick tonight.
He's been virtually unstoppable out there.
Draw at center ice. Yanni skates it up on the wing. Leclerc races back to get it. Leclerc sets it up.
1 minute remaining.
Doesn't connect. Leclerc races back to get it. Unloads a bullet. Right in front of the net. Bannister looking. Cross-ice pass. Drives it on to Amonte. Amonte skates his way through the neutral zone. For my partner Darren Pang, this is Mike Emmerich saying so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars of the game. The third star from the Chicago Blackhawks, number 31, Jeff Hackett. The second star from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, number 39, Travis Green. And the first star of the game from the Chicago Blackhawks, number 10, Tony Amonte.
Welcome to Anaheim. Along with Darren Pang, I'm Mike Emmerich. Hello again, everyone.
Always a pleasure to work with you, Mike. Let's look at the goaltending matchup for tonight's game. In goal for Boston, Byron Defoe. And in the opposite net, starting for Anaheim, Guy Hebert.
We're just about ready for the start of tonight's game in Anaheim. Face-off won by Green. Walks in front. Feeds it across. Boston back to get it. Feeds Green. The Bruins are offside. With the big blast. Mighty Ducks now find themselves trailing.
He got real good wood on that one. That's about as well as he can fire it. He didn't need any of his teammates on that one. He was able to do it himself.
Face off at center ice. To Samsonov. Bucks in front. Over to Kristich. Cross ice back. They score! A blistering shot by Allison. And that stretches the lead.
Because of the time he had and the space he had, he's able to blow it right by the goaltender. Kristich got it to Allison, and he buries it.
Kristich picks up the assist. Solani with it at the point. Cutting in. Hines starts it the other way. To Solani. Green retrieves it. That one out of reach. Soleil gets shoved. Correa zigzags his way in down the boards. Blocked by Hebert. In the corner. Left side to Solani. Right in front of the net. Sweeney skates it up on the wing. Feeds it across. Cross ice pass. Shooting to Hines. In the corner. Correa tees it up. Correa pushed off the puck. Boston back to get it. Pushes it up. That one out of reach. Lonnie pushed off the puck. Anaheim on a 3-on-2. Puck brought along by Hines. Circles with it.
1 minute remaining.
Right side to Holler. Saved by Hebert. Advances the puck to Solani. Anaheim behind. Defoe to Allison. Time running down in the period. Shot. Boston chases it down. And that'll do it for the first period. Boston 2, the Mighty Ducks 0. We're ready now for the start of the second period. Won by Anaheim. Defoe with the chest save. Boston back to get it. Over to Allison. Cross-ice pass. Allison starts it the other way. Correa races back to get it. Green bringing it ahead. Getting in! Defoe with the chest save. Gathered in by Solani. Shot. To Bork. Gathered in by Samsonov. Christie skates in all alone. Cutting in. Holler in the corner. Soleil starts it the other way. On the wing. Samsonov gets bumped. Soleil pushed off the puck. Anaheim back to get it. Correa with it at the point. Advances the puck to Donato. Doesn't connect. Soleil races back to get it. Rockets one. Cross-ice pass. Donato looking. Hey there. There to make the stop. Advances the puck to Solani. They score! A blistering shot by Solani.
That goal should provide an emotional lift for Anaheim. Oh, nifty little play there. They found a couple of seams and worked the man free.
Assist to Holler and Hebert. Stood up by Christie. Kicked out by Hebert. The Mighty Ducks with it. Defoe, the save.
1 minute remaining.
Kicked wide by Hebert. Big shot. Gathered in by Holler. The period almost over. Hands it to Allison. Hebert in the corner. Ledyard looking, and that'll do it for the second period. Boston 2, the Mighty Ducks 1. We are set for the start of the third period.
Anaheim still in this one, but man, time's running out.
Bruins win the draw. Solani! Defoe, the save.
That was a close call.
Holler along the boards. Takes a shot. to Allison. Kristich brings it in, offside. On the wing. Save by Defoe. He can't get it. Soleil looking. Soleil in the corner. Right side to Carter. Carter bringing it ahead. Getting in. Kick wide by Hebert.
Carter misfired on that puck right in front.
Solani along the boards. Dancing in. The Mighty Ducks. Control at the point. Holler skates it up on the wing. Guides it on to Solani. Boston to the Mighty Ducks. On. Passing. The Bruins go for a line change. Hebert gathers it in. Hands it to Solani. Solani skates it up on the wing. The Mighty Ducks are offside. Anaheim keeping their goals against down.
Teams are having a hard time cracking the defense for the Ducks.
Face off at center ice. Samsonov zigzags his way in down the boards. Correa with it at the point. Allison skates his way through the neutral zone. Big save. Feeds it across.
1 minute left of the third period.
Cutting in to Samsonov. Boston would love to have an insurance claim. Allison retrieves it. Christie starts it the other way. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Kicked wide by Defoe. Quick shot. Horn, the hockey game. It's over.
A terrific effort by Anaheim. Unfortunately, they came up a little short tonight.
For my partner Darren Pang, this is Mike Emmerich saying so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars of the game. The third star from the Boston Bruins, number 41, Jason Allison. The second star from the Boston Bruins, number 33, Anson Carter. And the first star of the game from the Boston Bruins, number 34, Byron Defoe.
Greetings and welcome to Anaheim. Along with Darren Pang, I'm Mike Emmerich. Almost time for tonight's face-off.
Great to be here, Mike. Let's take a look at the starting goalies for tonight's game. In net, for Phoenix, Nikolai Habibulin. And at the other end of the ice, in goal, for Anaheim, Guy Hebert.
We are all set to drop the puck in Anaheim. Face-off won by Green. A fight's broken out. Players head to the box. Those players will be substituted for.
Anaheim penalty, number 39, Travis Green. 5 minutes for fighting. Phoenix penalty, number 97, Jeremy Roenick. 5 minutes for fighting.
Each guy wanted a piece of the other guy, and they got their wish.
5 minutes apiece for the combatants. Draw in the neutral zone. Correa with it at the point. Off the goal post.
Oh, you gotta love that post if you're a goalie.
Soleil along the boards. Crushed by Numanen.
Soleil drilled by Numanen.
Puck brought along by Kachuk. Right side to Soleil. On the wing. Correa at the point. In the corner. Tocchet passes. In the corner, icing, Phoenix. Shot. Ruchin! Kicked out by Habibulin.
Ooh, chances like that keep the statisticians busy downstairs.
Hey there, plays it. Did it, bringing it ahead. Pusher with it at the point. Habibulin with the chest save.
He was right there.
Ruchin fights off the check. Habibulin gloves it. Just out of reach. Brought along by Didick. In the corner. Finds Bannister. Odd man rush. Terodowski brings it in offside. Draw in the neutral zone. Soleil along the board. They score! A blistering shot by Soleil. The Mighty Ducks are out in front.
He got real good wood on that one. That's about as well as he can fire it. Sandstrom got it to Soleil, and he buries it.
Anaheim goal, number 24, Ruslan Saleh, assisted by number 17, Tomas Sandstrom.
Soleil set up by Sandstrom. Terodowski gets bumped. The Mighty Ducks set up shot. Cross ice pass.
1 minute left in the period.
Correa with it at the point. Kachuk passes. Soleil along the board. Correa skates it up on the wing. The period almost over. Save by Hebert.
Tremendous save.
Anaheim chases it down. And that'll do it for the first period. Anaheim 1, the Coyotes 0. We're moments away from the start of the second period.
Anaheim looking to up their lead as things get underway.
One back at Lonnie. The Mighty Ducks set up shot. Korea! Rush by Tocchet.
Ouch!
Tocchet with it. Korea fights off the check. Crunch by Korea.
Tocchet absolutely hammered out there.
The olive branch is waved. The number of players on the ice will remain the same here.
Anaheim penalty, number 9, Paul Correa, 5 minutes for fighting. Phoenix penalty, number 92, Rick Tocchet, 5 minutes for fighting.
When all else fails, a lot of guys resort to fighting.
That little scrap will cost each of these players 5 minutes. Face off at center ice. Sullivan at the point. Phoenix chases it down. Puck brought along by Solani. Solani gets shoved. The Coyotes looking for the equalizer. Phoenix keeping their goals against down.
Not too many teams have found a way to solve this defense.
Ruchin faces off in his own zone. Rockets one. Feeds it across. Marha bringing it ahead. Roenick races back to get it. Bannister retrieves it. Stoppage of play on a two-line pass. In the corner. In the corner. Rink wide. Toronto. Anaheim back to get it. The Coyotes looking for the equalizer. In the corner. He can't get it. Drake races back to get it. Bothered by a bear. Face-off won by Green. Sandstrom gates it up on the wing. Abibulin, the save. Isbister starts it the other way. On the wing, offside, Phoenix. Tkachuk, a backbone of this franchise.
Tkachuk can dictate the tempo of a game with vicious hitting. He usually racks up around 200 penalty minutes per year.
Face-off at center ice. Green leading the rush.
1 minute left in the second period.
Tverdovsky skates it up on the wing. Tverdovsky, a drive. Kicked out by Hebert.
Boy, is he looking sharp.
Roenick delivered a few cheap shots out there tonight.
He's played with a real hard hat and lunch pail attitude tonight.
Green faces off in his own zone. 20 seconds left in the period. Cross-ice pass. Green, bump. Diddick brings it in, offside. Banham, shove. The horn sounds, and that's the end of the period. We're just about ready for the start of the third period.
This should be a great finish, Mike.
Won by Phoenix. Karadowski with it at the point. Side to Soleil. Kachuk gets shoved. Sends it off the boards to Solani. Cutting in. Just out of reach. In the corner. They score! Hey there, beaten by Isbister. And that goal ties it up.
When you leave the net wide open, this is what happens.
The goal is under review.
They're checking upstairs to make sure no one was in the crease.
There's definitely someone in the area. We'll have to see how they call it.
No goal.
The goal has been disallowed.
This could give the momentum back to Anaheim.
Face off at center ice. Rink wide to Sullivan. Shot. Anaheim chases it down. It's a breakaway. Carney arcs it the other way. Intercepted by Sullivan. Anaheim 1, the Coyotes 0. Bulin comes out to play the puck. Covered by Hobby Bulin. He can't get it. Off to Kachuk. Just out of reach. Kachuk pushed off the puck. Pusher skates his way through the neutral zone. The Coyotes are offside. The draw at center ice. Correa skates his way through the neutral zone. Abibulin there to make the stop.
Whoa, he really got a hold of that one.
Stoppage of play on a two-line pass. Pusher looking. Anaheim 1, the Coyotes 0. Marha leading the rush. Kicked wide by Hobby Bulin.
Marha misfired on that puck right in front.
Phoenix back to get it. Takes a shot. Wonik in the corner.
1 minute remaining.
Covered up by a Bear. Face off in the right circle. The Coyotes control at the point. To Hotler. Wow, what a bone-jarring hit. Great, in ahead of the play. Face off to the left of the net. Green with a shot. Over to Kachuk. Anaheim would love to have an insurance goal. Horn, the hockey game. It's over.
A terrific effort by Phoenix. Unfortunately, they came up a little short tonight.
For my partner Darren Pang, this is Mike Emmerich saying so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars of the game. The third star from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Number 17, Tomas Sandstrom. The second star from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Number 24, Ruslan Saleh. And the first star of the game from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Number 31, Guy Hebert.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to Anaheim. Along with Darren Pang, I'm Mike Emmerich. Hello again, everyone.
Always a pleasure to work with you, Mike. Let's look at the goaltending matchup for tonight's game. In goal for Tampa Bay, Darren Pupa. And at the other end of the ice, starting for Anaheim, Guy Hebert.
We're just about ready for the start of tonight's game in Anaheim. Face-off won by Eisebart. Knocked over. The Mighty Ducks set up shop. To Zaminer, but he was across two lines. Face off to the left of the net. Dancing in. Cullimore bringing it ahead. A long blast by Cullimore. Green leading the rush. Green in the corner. Garea! Green with a shot. Cullimore takes a little shove. Cross ice pass. Doesn't get through.
It takes a lot of courage to get down and block a shot like that.
The Mighty Ducks set up shop. Soleil gets shoved.
The crowd right now is waiting for something to happen.
Holler along the boards. Correa skates it up on the wing. Kicked out by Pupa.
Boy, he got great wood on that shot.
Left side to Renberg. Renberg at the point. Over to to Soleil. Doesn't connect. The Lightning in the midst of a change. The Lightning ruled offside. Face off at center ice. Oh, is he crushed?
Placed the game with both teams doing a lot of checking.
Bannister sets it up. Stood up by Zamaner. Marha with it. Right in front of the net. Anaheim chases it down. In the corner.
1 minute left of the first period.
Correa races back to get it. Correa! Dykout in the corner. One out of reach. Holler with it at the point. 20 seconds left in the quarter. Correa looking. Correa. A drive. That one out of reach. And that'll do it for the first period. Anaheim 0. The Lightning 0. We're ready now for the start of the second period.
We've got a real good one going now, Mike.
Face off one by Green. They score! A blistering shot by Green. The Mighty Ducks are out in front.
No chance for the goaltender on that one. There's no way I would have had it. Perfectly placed shot by Green. That one was just a great individual effort.
Anaheim goal, number 39, Travis Green.
No assists on the goal by Green. Up to Zamaner. Zamaner over the line ahead of the puck. Face off in neutral ice. Rink wide to Zamaner. Feeds it across. Eisenberg on a 3-on-2. Hands it to Correa. Reshake at the point. Correa appears to be shaken up.
They can't afford to have quality players go down with injuries. Correa looked like he was caught off guard as he fell awkwardly.
Correa looks like he's in some pain. Face off to the left of the net. Tampa Bay trying to tie it up. Glove by Pupa. Anaheim chases it down. In the corner. Right side to Renberg. Saved by Hebert. On the wing. Cutting in. Anaheim back to get it. Doesn't connect. Hebert, the corner. Shooting! Feeds it across. On the wing. Green zigzags his way in down the boards. Blocked by Pupa.
That was a good opportunity.
Feeds it across. Tampa Bay chases it down. Zaminer in ahead of the play. Spins. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Save by Hebert.
Ooh, chances like that keep the statisticians busy downstairs.
Dykhouse starts it the other way. Off the wall to Renberg. Green handles the puck.
1 minute remaining.
That was a two-line pass. Face off at center ice. Up to Richer, but he was across two lines. Face off in the right circle. Ruchin wins the draw. Kicked wide by Pupa. Hands it to Zaminer. Shot. Zaminer behind the net. Oh, is he crushed?
Cross. The fella on the wrong end of that body check.
In the corner. And that'll do it for the second period. Anaheim 1, the Lightning 0. We're moments away from the start of the third period.
Anaheim clinging to the lead as we head for home.
The Lightning control the draw. In the corner. Two-line pass is called. Eisenbart faces off in his own zone. Kicked out by Pupa. Zaminer leading the rush. Solani skates his way through the neutral zone. Unloads a bullet. Rebound. Long to Soleil. Puck brought along by Solani. Pupa, the save.
That was a close call.
To Zaminer. Holler gets bumped. Blocked by a bear. Anaheim back to get it. On to Renberg. Offside is the signal. Face off at center ice. Anaheim back to get it. Walks in front. Long to Pusher. Renberg brings it in offside. Face off at center ice. The Lightning control the draw. Dancing in. Cullimore upended in front of the net. Feeds it across. On the wing. Richer starts it the other way. The Mighty Ducks change on the fly. Right in front of the net. Covered up by a bear. To Korea. Odd man rush. A blistering shot by Korea. And that stretches the lead.
Because of the time he had and the space he had, he's able to blow it right by the goaltender. Great puck movement by Anaheim. They really put on a clinic on that one.
Anaheim goal, number 9, All Korea. Assist to number 3, Kevin Haller, and number 39, Travis Green.
Assisted by Haller and Green. Tampa Bay chases it down. Janney stopped the puck. Loads it up and fires. Green kicked out by Pupa.
1 minute left in regulation.
Over to Janney. Mighty Ducks are offside. To Richer. Doesn't connect. Over to Eisenbart. Odd man rush. Period almost over. To Marshall. On the wing. Banham leading the rush. He's got himself an empty net goal. Banham with the big blast. The Lightning find themselves trailing by even more.
Banham made a slippery little move, and it's an empty netter. He found himself in great position after the pass, and he did the rest himself.
Banham set up by Marshall. Face off at center ice. The Mighty Ducks, too much tonight. Win credited to a bear.
Well, Mike, this one wasn't even close tonight. It was a blowout.
For my partner Darren Pang, this is Mike Emmerich saying so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars of the game. The third star from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, Number 9, Paul Correa, the second star. From the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, number 29, Frank Banham. And the first star of the game, from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, number 39, Travis Green.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Greetings and welcome to Dallas. Along with Darren Pang, I'm Mike Emmerich. Almost time for tonight's face-off.
Great to be here, Mike. Let's take a look at the starting goalies for tonight's game. Between the pipes, for Anaheim, Guy Hebert. And at the other end of the ice, in goal, for Dallas, Ed Belfour.
We're live in Dallas. The Mighty Ducks win the draw. Solani zigzags his way in down the board. The Mighty Ducks set up shot. Didn't get through. Intercepted by Lehtinen. Unloads a bullet. Gathered in by Soleil. Solani ringing it ahead. Belfour with the chest save. Penalty call, and Anaheim will go on the power play.
Hull hoping that there is some way that his teammates can kill this penalty and get him off the hook.
Dallas penalty, number 4, Brett Hull. 2 minutes for charging.
The referee has to call that one. Someone could have gotten injured.
Penalty called by the referee. Hull will head to the box.
The power play unit just isn't getting it done for Anaheim.
Face off to the left of the net. Shot. Hebert sets it up. Hebert covers it. Hebert off to a hot start.
He's been solid between the pipes. The key has been that he's limited the number of bad goals he's allowed.
Face off to the left of the net. In back of the goal. To Holler. Anaheim enjoying the advantage. Walks in front. Cutting in. Dallas chases it down. Time winding down on this power play. Solani skates his way through the neutral zone. Hatcher races back to get it. Soleil retrieves it. An injured player down.
They can't afford to have quality players go down with injuries. Oh, that was a bone-crushing hit. That's the type of hit that could give your driver's license a black eye.
Holler skates gingerly back to the bench. Let's hope he's okay. Carbonneau wins the draw. Dancing in. Rink wide to Ludwig. Dumps it into the corner. Gathered in by Trinka. Sandstrom bringing it ahead. In the corner. On the wing. The Mighty Ducks change up. Hebert there to make the stop.
Oh, great save.
Hull off to a quick start out of the gate.
Things are coming together for him, especially in the scoring department.
Ruchin faces off in his own zone. Lehtinen retrieves it.
1 minute remaining.
Marhoff! Save by Duncan.
That was a close call.
Taps it ahead. In the corner. The Mighty Ducks change up. Period almost over. Finds Soleil. Solani skates his way through the neutral zone. That's the end of the first period. Dallas 0, the Mighty Ducks 0. We're just about ready for the start of the second period.
Still a lot of hockey left in this one.
Draw one by Anaheim. Save by Hebert. Pushes it up. Puck brought along by Solani. Belfort there to make the stop. He was belted by Hull.
That was absolutely brutal.
Walks in front. Cutting in. Kick wide by Belfort.
Oh, great save.
Cut off by Lehtinen. Shooting. Finds Soleil. Correa skates his way through the neutral zone. Kick wide by Belfort.
That one looked like it was shot out of a cannon.
Hebert sets it up. Solani races back to get it. Rockets one. Doesn't connect. Puck brought along by Holler. Holler controls at the point. Belfort, the save.
That was a good chance. They were just unable to convert.
Shot. Rink wide to Soleil.
The crowd right now anticipating something's going to happen.
Kicked out by Belfort.
He was right there.
Rushed by Nieuwendyk. Cross ice pass. Madano handles the puck. The Mighty Ducks control at the point.
1 minute remaining.
Banks it off the wall to Hull. Right side to Madano. Madano fires away. Over to Holler. Cross ice pass. Crunched by Solani.
Oh!
Solani zigzags his way in down the board. The horn sounds, and that's the end of the period. Dallas 0, the Mighty Ducks 0. We're ready now for the start of the third period.
Tight game. This could go either way.
Green wins the draw. Finds Green. Sends it off the boards to Solani. Offside is the signal. The draw at center ice. The Mighty Ducks with it. Belfort there to make the stop. Correa got it in, but an offside call. Good defense for Anaheim.
Teams are having a hard time cracking the defense for the Ducks.
Face off at center ice. Walks in front. Stood out by Green. Cut off by Solani. Correa controls it. Correa scores! Correa with the big blast. Stars now find themselves trailing.
He overpowered the goaltender with that rocket. That goal was a great example of how hard work really pays off.
Correa gets credit for the unassisted goal. Green controls at the point. Belfort, the save.
Holy jumping! What a save!
Along the board. Kick wide by Belfort.
That was a good opportunity.
Odd man rush. Big save. He was right there. Rebound out in front. Lonnie fires away. The Mighty Ducks are offside. Dallas chases it down. Gathered in by Bannister. Anaheim on a 3-on-2. Angles it off the board. Anaheim on the Star. 0. Kicked wide by Hebert.
Oh, great save.
Marha looking. Kicked out by Belfort.
Holy jumper. What a save.
Gathered in by Hull. They're looking. Here we go. A good pummeling to Marha. Those players will be substituted for.
Dallas penalty, number 26, Yuri Lettinen. 5 minutes for fighting. Anaheim penalty, number 10, Yosef Marha. 5 minutes for fighting.
Each guy wanted a piece of the other guy, and they got their wish.
5 minutes apiece for the combatants. Green wins the draw. The Mighty Ducks control at the point.
1 minute remaining.
Doesn't connect. Just out of reach. Langenbrunner passes it. Verbeek pushed off the puck. He can't get it. Zubov in the corner. Icing whistled against Anaheim. Anaheim would love to have an insurance group. The Mighty Ducks, too much tonight. Win credited to Hebert.
Not much difference between these two teams tonight.
For my partner Darren Pang, Mike Emmerich saying good night all.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars of the game. The third star from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, number 9, Paul Correa. The second star from the Dallas Stars, number 20, Ed Belfour. And the first star of the game from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, number 31, Guy Hebert.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Hello, everyone. Along with Darren Pang, I'm Mike Emmerich. Welcome to St. Louis.
Electric atmosphere here tonight, Mike. Let's meet tonight's starting goaltenders. In net, for Anaheim, Guy Hebert. And in the other net, for St. Louis, Grant Fuhr.
We are all set to drop the puck in St. Louis. The Mighty Ducks win the draw. Crunch by Rayon.
That was absolutely brutal.
Spins. Slap shot. In the corner. Gathered in by Rayon. Didn't get through. Off to Green. The Blues control at the point. Breakaway. Big save. Hit wide by York. Young along the board. That'll go wide of the cage.
Korea misfired on that puck right in front.
Pushes it up. Rayon skates in all alone. Anaheim chases it down. Solani leading the rush. That shot's wide.
He was right there.
Saved by Fjord.
He was right there.
Face off in the right circle. St. Louis back to get it. Saved by Fjord. Odd man rush. Marha retrieves it. Marha with it. A long blast from Marha. Bannister retrieves it. Offside is the signal. Interesting history for Anaheim.
Well, Mike, the Mighty Ducks set team records in both wins and points in the 1996-97 season.
Face off at center ice. Cross ice pass. On the wing. Anaheim back to get it. Save by Hebert.
Oh, almost.
Holler in the corner. A long blast by Green. Kicked out by Fjord.
That's a good scoring opportunity. It goes down as a quality chance.
1 minute left of the first period.
Kicked out by Fjord. Over to Rayon. That one blocked.
That was a great defensive play.
Played by Hebert. Campbell takes a little shove. On the wing. The horn sounds, and that's the end of the period. St. Louis 0, the Mighty Ducks 0. We're moments away from the start of the second period.
Entertaining game so far, Mike. Both teams still looking for the upper hand.
Draw one by Rayom. Korea! Kicked out by Fjord. Soleil races back to get it. Rockets one. Off to Green. Left side to Holler. Pucks in front. That one out of reach. Young along the board. Oh, is he hit?
That's what you call physical hockey.
Anaheim chases it down. Salami leading the rush. Salami with a shot. Right side to Rayom. The Blues change on the fly. Korea along the board. Takes a shot. Wrister to Salami. That was a two-line pass. One back, Busher. Hey there, got a piece of that one.
That was a close call.
Gill skates his way through the neutral zone. He can't get it. The play is called back for offside. Right in front of the net. Hines, Eastwood. 3-on-2. Kicked wide by Hebert.
Boy, is he looking sharp.
Blazing start by Young.
He's really improved his defense this year, and that has helped his plus-minus.
Face off in the left circle. Soleil is behind his own net. Up the goal post. They score! Hebert beaten by Courtnall. The Mighty Ducks fall behind.
Boy, did he take advantage of the mistake by Hebert. Hebert makes a mistake, and the turnover results in a goal.
Courtnall unassisted. Blues set up shop.
1 minute left in the period.
Walks in front. Feeds it across. St. Louis with it. Young takes a little shove. Puck brought along by Solani. Unloads a bullet. Gathered in by McAlpine, but he was across two lines. Shoots it into the corner. St. Louis 1, the Mighty Ducks 0. We are set for the start of the third period.
Anaheim still in this one, but man, time's running out.
The Mighty Ducks control the draw. York there to make the stop. One out of reach. Eastwood along the boards. Shot to Holler. Solani with the flat shot. Feeds it across. Cross ice pass. Left side to Rayom. Young, King. Hands it ahead to Green. On the wing. The Mighty Ducks set up shot. He can't get it. Rink wide to Eastwood. The Blues on a change line. On the wing. Campbell at the point. Saved by a bear. Solani! It hit the goalpost. Short pass to Courtnall. Campbell starts it the other way. A bear there to make the stop. Finds Holler. Holler starts it the other way. McInnes brings it in offside. Face off at center ice. Big blast. Rink wide to Soleil. York sets it up. On the wing. Hebert waits behind his own net. Solani leading the rush.
1 minute remaining.
Shoot! Right side to Eastwood. Eastwood at the point. Anaheim chases it down. Correa leading the rush. 20 seconds left in the third. Green with a shot. Rayom leading the rush. This one is over.
A valiant effort by Anaheim. Unfortunately, they came up a little short tonight.
For my partner Darren Pang, this is Mike Emmerich saying so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars of the game. The third star from the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, number 31, Guy Hebert. The second star from the St. Louis Blues, number 14, Jeff Courtnall. And the first star of the game from the St. Louis Blues, number 31, Grant Fuhr.